So next up is the most recent entry into the animated DC universe, Batman: The Long Halloween. The Long Halloween is a two-part animated adaptation of the comic of the same name. Batman is once again presented with a new challenger he calls Holiday. So who is Holiday? What do they want? And why is Holiday targeting the Falcones? This is what Batman must figure out during The Long Halloween.
In the movie galaxy of the YouTube universe, you have landed on Frame Rate Studio. We are your guide to all things movies. I'm Corey.
I'm Chad.
Start off since I started off on the last one.
I think my main starting point is I really like this. The thing I would say, just from the very beginning, is it's best viewed just as one continuous movie.
I would agree. Definitely view it as one. To sit down, even though it does make it a really long period of time.
Sure.
Makes it a really, really long period of time if you watch the wrong two ones first.
This is true.
This was where I ended up watching the Dark Knight Rises or whatever. It comes in two parts. I was supposed to watch this.
Yeah.
I would also, though, say didn't need to be two-part. I think it was stretched out too far again because they started putting in too many characters again.
Yeah.
I will say, going back being me, at the beginning of it, I did not care for the artwork, and it was too. The way I describe it here is it's like, and it's an interesting style of artwork. I will give it that. It's kind of fun for this show. I haven't ever watched it, but it works. It's like Archer.
Oh, I see where you're coming at from it. Okay.
It has a feel of Archer, which does not fit. And I guess since I kind of associate it with Archer, it doesn't fit for Batman.
Okay.
Plus, it felt like there's two different types of artwork going on for the main characters of what's happening and then the backgrounds. It was two different styles.
Okay.
Part two, by that time I was starting to dig the artwork because there's the dark outline, thick outlines of the characters so they pop out. But the background had really nice shadowing, really nice coloring, so you felt the depth. But the characters were like very blockish in their coloring. And to me, I said it's an adult version, even though it's already adult, but adult version of South Park is what I felt like. I was watching these.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed the artwork throughout. I guess I didn't have the same. I look at it differently, so I didn't have the same focuses. I did like that there was it was noticeable, at least enough to me that I noted it, that when there's a scene with the Scarecrow and the Mad Hatter, that the artwork changes when it's kind of he's in that that fear mode or whatever. I thought that was that kind of difference in tone and which is something that it felt more like you were watching truly the comic coming to life on screen.
However, jumping ahead since you brought it up, I will go there.
He's gonna go there
with the Scarecrow. The art style that was done there really made me wonder when Scooby-Doo was going to show up. He just reminded me of the Scarecrow from Scooby-Doo.
Okay, yeah.
I was just like, mystery machine around the corner.
We generally don't try to read ahead on each other's notes because we like to kind of be surprised at what you're saying. I had seen that and kind of wondered. I'm like, what does he mean by Scooby-Doo? I'm like, what does he think Scooby-Doo and Falcon and Wonder Mutt's going to show up? Dino Mutt or whatever he is going to show up?
So another question, though, here.
Yeah.
I want Adam Savage to come back around to do a Mythbusters for me.
Okay. Adam, we're looking at you. Yeah. Come out of retirement. Yes, you want Adam Savage to come do a show on which part?
Do baby bottle nipples really work as a silencer?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So those are like little random things. I have more questions and everything as we go along. But is there anything else you want to touch on before?
No, going on to your next point. I kind of want to see what you have got to say next.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, we got kind of, I think, differing thoughts on this one. So go ahead.
This was another decent,
okay
Joker performance.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the stronger one. I like Hush Joker better. I did like him.
Fair enough.
On to somewhat of another different note is a question, because in this one they refer to him as the Batman. So is he Batman or the Batman? Kind of like Facebook or the Facebook.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
It's like, because even in the movie that's coming out with Robert Pattinson. It's like he's the Batman in it. And then eventually, yes, it just I guess it depends on his age. It's like when he's younger, he's the Batman, but because it's not like last we knew, there aren't later on. It's not like, yeah, there's other people connected to Batman that are out in Gotham that are heroes, but there's not anybody else that is Batman. I mean, yes, there's Man-Bat, I know in the comics, but he's Man-Bat, not Batman. So why wouldn't he just always be the Batman? Because unless there's multiple Batman in Batman, I don't know. We'll conjugate that verb later. But it's not a verb anyway. But but it's like there's not like multiple Batmen in Gotham or even in the world as far as we know. So wouldn't he just always be the Batman? I guess maybe it's just easy. You get rid of the so you aren't too wordy. I don't know. This coming from me.
I liked the fight scene in Chinatown. Very well artistically done. And
trying to remember all of it. Yeah.
It was just.
Or they're supposed to be part of the Yakuza. Yeah.
It felt very much like a Hollywood choreographed fight where, a lot of times with animated, it doesn't feel that way. It's just really jerky, bouncing around and everything. This was very smooth. I liked it.
Yeah.
And go ahead, and then I'll let you even lead into 2.
I mean, I think, like I said, I thought the ending for part 1 was good. It ended on quite a cliffhanger, which I thought was a good thing. And I thought it had the right tone to make you then want to go in and see what was going on in part 2, and continue to watch. You go to the second one and realize that basically, because the reason it's called The Long Halloween is basically it takes place over a whole year from one Halloween to the next. And the reason it's the holiday killer is every major killing is happening on a holiday of some sort. So the reason you can tell is basically, if I remember right, does it end on New Year's Eve or does it end a little bit after that?
Part 1?
Yeah.
New Year's, I believe.
Anyway, I think so. Yeah, but basically it ends
because Joker goes at the end. There goes my resolution.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. So basically it ends on New Year's or right around New Year's. And then when it goes to part 2, it's now, I think it's Valentine's or it's St. Patrick's Day, one of the two, or it's somewhere in there, or it's basically like alludes to Valentine's Day. And then, calendar shifts and it goes to St. Patrick's Day. Like I said, I have a different take on it. I thought that the way they structured the story, because this kind of leads into the story, the way they structured the story, to me, it was, for what I was looking for, it was slow and methodical, but in a good way. Like, for what I like, the way the story is put together and kind of the slow movement throughout it, and that they did foreshadow, but they didn't hit you over the head with it. It wasn't like in your face to where it was like so evident as to what was going on that you weren't still intrigued to try and figure it out. And then as soon as you thought you did have it figured out, at least I felt this way, as soon as you thought you did have it figured out, you kind of were thrown another, sometimes they were red herring, sometimes they were actually the route it was going down. Yeah. And so you were kind of thrown down this different route of trying to figure out the mystery, what was going on. So I thought I thought it did well at trying to be a noirish crime thriller. And it kind of gave you that slow build. The pace and the tone felt right to me throughout the whole thing. And it felt like it was complete and it was intentional. It wasn't like they just stumbled into this as to what they kind of maybe wanted to do with this. Like, it felt like they had the director and the people who put together this story felt like they had a key vision as to what they were trying to accomplish.
Well, I will agree that it was very well done for a mystery type of writing.
It stayed with that this is a crime thriller, this is a detective story, and that's his goal of what he's trying to figure out. You probably are right with some points as far as that it's a lot of villains, once again, that you're trying to jam into this story. But it's like, I thought, like, even if they hadn't done everything with some of those extra characters that they didn't need. So did those guys need to be in there as much? I would argue no, probably not. I thought they did a better job in this of kind of keeping each of those stories self-contained, if you will. Now we move on. Going back to it, though, the nice thing is, though, this is a self-contained, it's just a Batman story. We don't have any interloping from Superman or Lex or anything else. This is just Batman.
Yep. For once, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Superman was messing with the Flash or messing with someone else's story. I mean, why he didn't show up was.
But the whole point is, it's nice that we have it's a Superman. It's nice that it's just a Batman story. Like it is what I think where Batman is at his best is when it's just Batman fighting stuff and things going on in Gotham. So I think the other thing I have to bring up that I'd alluded to in Hush is, and I said that I don't know if it's just playing Batman does this or because it's the voice acting of Batman once again just kind of comes across as wooden and unemotional. And I say again, I don't know how much that is the people playing. I don't know how much it is actually the people who are doing the character because like all the other characters, the emotion is there and comes across. Yet Batman, it's like, and maybe it's a matter of because he's a character that when he's in the cape and cowl, you don't see his eyes and that's part of it. I don't know. I know there's something about he just like the emotion just doesn't feel there. Like it's to me, it's right. All of it. It's like the emotion of Batman just seems like I said, he feels wooden and detached from everything, which to your point earlier makes him feel not as likable.
Yeah.
So, what were your final thoughts?
Final
thought? Did you have another point?
Nope, nothing more. Final thoughts, anticlimactic. Like I said, I had the feeling going right back to it. And even when it is revealed who the real Holiday is,
yes,
I almost missed it because it was so anticlimactic. It's like, oh, and then again, too many characters and they didn't mesh well.
I mean, I disagree. I thought and I think where I was at on it is I like the subtlety. And so it was very subtle in the points it was making, and it was very subtle in its foreshadowing, and it did keep you guessing till the very end. I can see what you're saying, though, kind of feeling like you missed it. You do need to pay attention. It's not just, it is kind of very quiet, that final reveal. I think it makes sense in how they put together the rest of the movie and the story. But I take your point. You know, whether or not I agree with you or not, doesn't matter. I see where you're coming from on it. That's why we're doing this. You know, we each have a different take on these.
Yeah, over the coming months and years of us doing it, they'll realize that I have the taste.
Really? You have the taste? Come on. Who has the good taste here? That's why we hope you're here. Doesn't mean you're going to agree with us on all this.
And if you don't, you know what to do.
Yeah, let us know.
And if we're making good enough points for you to want to come back, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification, and until next time, do you have anything else? Pause.
We need to go ahead and give our ratings. We haven't done that part yet.
That's true. Welcome back.
So, you being the one supposedly with the taste, as you like to put it, what was your rating on this one out of 100?
I would have to say it's the 60, maybe even 59.
Okay.
Just to take it out of giving it the chance to say it's in the 60s.
Yeah. I gotcha. I gave it 80 out of 100. I think, I know. I knew that's the look I was going to get. There's a fair amount of not a fair amount. Part of what I look at in any of these is rewatchability. And while it's very well done on the story, it's like most detective, most crime thrillers. Once you figure out who did it, the whodunit part of it, and understand that, really maybe there's rewatchability of watching it like once more. It's still very well done, and I highly recommend it. I think, but I get it. You rolled your eyes at my rating, but hey, I'm still happy you gave it a 59 out of 100 or 60, whichever you're going with, because that's not too bad. I mean, that's not a total train wreck then.
So again, as I said before, and I'll say again, if you like it enough, subscribe, hit the like button, share it with your friends, hit the notification bell so when we do put out new stuff, you'll know it. But otherwise, until next time, coming from a movie galaxy of the YTU, this is Frame Rate Studio.
There you go.